All right, example 3b, what is the y-intercept of this line? And you can see I've got some things written down here. There's 3 ways we can do this question, and it kind of depends on what you're given in the question. So in method 1, I'm going to say convert to y equals mx plus b form. So let's assume that I already had the slope-intercept form of this equation. Doesn't matter which one that I use, I'll just pick the first one. Okay, you will get the same y-intercept. And the reason we're going to convert it to y equals mx plus b form is remember that the b value is the y-intercept. So if we find the b value, we know the y-intercept. So let's just use the first equation. Your work would look different if you did the second equation. Your steps would be the same, but you would come up with the exact same b value. Okay, so since we've just been doing this in the previous examples, we're going to multiply the negative 1/3 through the brackets. Right, I'm going to move 2 to the other side. So if we minus 2, we're going to add 2 to get it over there. So we have plus 2. Right now it's 2 over 1, but I'm going to need a common denominator. So the negative 1/3 x just stays there. Minus 2/3 plus, we need this to be a 3. So 1 times 3, 2 times 3 is going to be 6. Y is equal to negative 1/3 x. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4/3. So that means that your b value, your y-intercept, is equal to 4/3. All right, in method 2, we're going to let x equal 0. And this is sometimes my go-to. No matter what, when I'm doing intercepts, I know that if I'm looking for the x-intercept, I can let y equal 0. So again, we'll start off with that first equation in slope point form. And again, I know I wrote that equation out in 2 different ways in example A, but it doesn't matter which one you pick. So I just picked the first one. So I'm going to put 0 in place of x. So everything else is going to be written out the same way. So it's going to look like this. Okay, we got to work with our brackets first. So 0 plus 2 is just going to be 2. So y minus 2 is still here. So you're going to have negative 1/3 times 2. Negative 1/3 times 2 is negative, remember this is like a fraction 2, is negative 2/3. So y minus 2 is equal to negative 2/3. Move 2 to the other side. So we're going to add 2. Right now it's 2 over 1. Y is equal to, we need a common denominator, so it's got to be written over 3. So if we times 1 by 3, we had to times 2 by 3, so 6 over 3, and you get a y-intercept of 4/3 still. Now in method 3, you can use y equals mx plus b and just start from the very beginning question. So the very beginning question said, find the slope, which we found here as negative 1/3. Then I can plug in either one of these points as x and y to find the b value. So I know the slope is negative 1/3, and then I plug in a point. So plug in a point. I'm going to choose 1, 1 because I may as well choose a little bit easier numbers here. So I'm going to put 1 in for y equals negative 1/3. I'm going to put 1 in for x plus b. So 1 is equal to negative 1/3 plus b. I need to move the 1/3 to the other side. Actually, and you know what's going to be easier is let's clear the fraction first before rearranging it. That's sort of the strategy we've been using. So if I'm going to clear the fraction, I'm multiplying both sides by the lowest common denominator, so 3. So I get 3 is equal to negative 1 plus 3b. Now that I don't have fractions, it'll be easier to rearrange this. So move the 1 to the other side by adding it. Then get b by itself by dividing off the 3. So b is equal to 4/3, okay, which of course is your y-intercept, okay? Keep in mind, right, this is the equation negative 1/3 x plus 4/3 like we found above because we have the slope in there. So that's when we've been doing those kinds of questions before.